Welcome, Virgo and Virgo cross watchers, to your love reading for May 2023. So thanks for stopping by my channel today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. We're going to get the relationship situation and then what each of you is thinking and feeling about the other person. And my candles are not on. Sorry. And then your actions or intentions towards each other. So we do have Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck and Five of Swords. So Virgo, I feel like somebody is really longing to be with you here. I feel like when they're around, whoever they're around or these other people, it's almost like as soon as they're around them, I feel like all they can kind of think about is like, oh, I would just much rather be with Virgo right now. So, Virgo, up in your headspace, you have the Queen of Swords. Virgo feeling about this. Oh, 9 and 10 of Wands. Goodness. What I'm kind of picking up initially here, Virgo, is I feel like whatever the situation is with this person, I mean, obviously you're pretty standoffish towards them. It seems to have this energy of like, clearly you don't really trust this person. I feel for some of you, it's like either it is a similar situation or as like that you've experienced before, but with a different person. Or this person has, it just feels like they're kind of jerking your chain, or they've kind of had a bit of in and out energy. And then what's in your heart space? We have the Wounded Warrior and things feeling really hard. It feels like you have to be the strong one in this situation. It feels like you have to be the person that kind of keeps things moving in the right direction. It feels like the kind of energy of, if you were to stop texting this person, or at least from your perspective, if you were to stop texting them, you feel like you wouldn't hear from them. From what I'm seeing, I'm not so sure that's the case. Yeah. I am kind of feeling like this person, yeah. It's almost like, from what I'm seeing, at least at the beginning of this read, they haven't quite figured out that they're kind of taking you for granted here. But they really would much rather be, it's almost like they'd much rather be doing the work with you than with, I'm hearing like then, I don't even want to say this, but I guess I'm going to have to, than with these bumbling fools is kind of what I'm hearing. So, not trying to be a jerk to anybody. I'm catching something here that this person has, it's almost like they've told somebody something. You know what I mean? It's almost like, that meme where like once you've told your mom what someone's done, they really can't come back. And that's just to be, facetious. I feel like there's something here that it's almost like other people, like not that between the two of you, but other mutual friends or other people seem to be looking at you and treating you differently, almost like an outcast, like you're going to have to take your lunch tray and sit by yourself. And I feel like it's because this person got mad and started talking some mad crap about you. And now they're kind of, how do I say this? I feel to a certain extent they're still happy they did it, okay? I'm just going to be honest. But I feel like they're starting to miss you. So it's like they've started to feel that way. They've started to feel your absence. It just doesn't feel like they're quite in the place where, I want to say like where they feel bad about what they did. So, I definitely feel like when it comes to what you're feeling, that you feel like you have to be the mature one. You feel like you have to be the person that kind of rises above the situation, the bigger person. and you're doing it, and I feel like that's not going to change because you have a certain responsibility to yourself to conduct yourself in a way that you can be proud of. But I feel like it's like it's getting a little dry in here. You know what I mean? It feels like I'm hearing something about thin ice, and it feels actually that like your patience is on thin ice with the whole thing, right? I feel like to a certain extent that it's not like you're, gonna pop off and yell at anybody. It actually feels more that it's like there are times where you get really frustrated, and it's almost like, and you may want to kind of read this person the riot act, but I feel like you keep a really good handle on that because um, it's almost like you kind of want, I want to say you want karma to step in and deal with it. You know what I mean? It's almost like, let's say, for example, you've experienced some negative, relationships, whether it's romantic or otherwise. Um, and in the past, it's almost like if it turned into a tete-a-tete, I feel like that didn't do it for you, if that makes sense. Um, so it's almost like you're what white knuckling it, if that makes sense, um, waiting for karma to come in. And I feel like to a certain extent you're not trying to keep your cool. You obviously are doing it. Um, it just feels like you're not really going to be the thing or the person that is doling out the justice in this situation. And it actually feels like it's because you're just not really looking to give anything else to this person, anything else at all. Like no love, no hate, no nothing. I feel like you're really, really guarded. Whoops. Very guarded with this energy. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like being this guarded, from what I'm seeing with you, it's exhausting. And I feel like it's not like you're going to stop or you're going to give up or anything, but it feels like you're bloody exhausted at the end of the day. If you're tired and you don't know why, it's actually because you're going against what you want to do because you know that's the wisest choice here. It's almost like you not doing anything big right now is going to make your life easier down the road. And of course, you know that. But you're changing a behavior here, right? It's like even if you were doing this previously, you're starting to do it in a different type of way. And I feel like changing that behavior seems to be actually quite tiring. Um, it's almost like you're kind of closing out some sort of behavior pattern, if that makes sense. I am picking up this, I mean, we do have the Two of Cups here, right? I'm kind of picking up this energy of like, you really did have feelings for this person. I feel like some of you may be saying that you didn't, and maybe you didn't have, maybe you weren't in love with them, but you certainly had some sweet feelings for them. Whoops. Um, sorry, I'm just trying to straighten my legs because my knees are really bothering me. I feel like there's something about this situation that makes you feel a little bit dead inside. And it's almost like you being silent feels like or how you're conducting yourself, what's happening in this situation, the fact that it happened in the first place, it almost feels like you're looking at yourself like, am I punishing myself? It's almost like you, Virgo, are wondering like, why do these kind of people, it's almost like, why do I continue to kind of choose these kind of people? Why do I continue to punish myself like this? And I feel like, number one, I feel like when you went into this connection with this person, you really, it's like in the beginning you didn't see it coming. I feel like you kind of saw little sparks of this kind of going down the tubes in a certain type of way. But it just kind of feels like you wanted to believe that something would be nice. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that may be why disconnecting from this person feels different, because it's almost like as things unfold here, I feel like you're looking at the situation like, yeah, I thought that could happen. I thought it might go that way. And I feel like the longer you were in the connection, the more you felt that it was going to go down the way it went down. So, your person over here, we have the Five of Pentacles in their headspace, and then the Three of Pentacles is what's in their heart space. And in all honesty, man, I feel like this person, it seems like they have this kind of war between their heart and their head, right? It's like their head is like, oh, there's no way. Virgo's never going to go for it. Virgo's never going to forgive us. And then their heart is like, no, we can work on it. It'll be fine. We can fix this. You know what I mean? It's like their heart seems to be that eternal romantic optimist that wants to, almost said something really catty there. I was going to say that kind of wants to almost look at real love as some sort of like romantic comedy or a romantic movie where, you know, they always get the person that they're after kind of deal. And I feel like this person, it's like when they get into that headspace and they want to look back and they want to kind of go back to where when they were with you, I actually feel, I don't know what all that banging is. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I actually feel like this person, to a certain extent, feels like it's not fair for them to come back around and bother you again. That's what I'm seeing. It feels like whatever they had a problem with you, whatever they thought was the issue with you, it's like, well, they went out in that big world and they went to go find something different. And I feel like what they found is a lot less than what they thought they were going to find. And it's almost like, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of driving me a bit crazy. I don't know if you can hear that banging. So I feel like this might be specific, but I feel like this person's family or their parents really liked you. And it's almost like, so not only did this person let you down and themselves down, it's like they let their family down by letting a good one get away type deal. And I feel like there's this inner dialogue with them, this inner narrative that like, oh, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's going to be fine. There's lots more fish in the sea and blah, blah, blah. And for some of you, this person may have people lined up. They may already be dating, of course, depending on where the two of you are in the relationship, right? It just kind of feels like I feel like this person felt that they could be vulnerable with you. This person felt like they could really confide in you. And I feel like they got a lot of strength from you. And it's almost like they're looking at what they've gained from the situation with you and they're kind of grateful, but they're kind of insert expletive here, okay? I feel like this person is actually, not trying to be rude to them, okay? But I feel like they're quite selfish. I feel like they are focused on their own needs. And it's almost like them missing you is about them missing you. It's not about the heartache that they've caused you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, they're sad that they left and they're sad that they can't find anything as good as you, but it's still, they're sad about how things are going for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if this is the kind of person that came back and left and came back and left and came back and left, it's because they're thinking about it from their own perspective. They're not even, it's like there's no, excuse me, doesn't mean they're incapable of having empathy or that they don't have it anywhere. But in this situation with you, they do not. They are not using that skill. Excuse me. And it could be that maybe you're really capable or whatever it is, right? But in all honesty, it's like, who cares? Who cares why? Who cares why you're capable? Or sorry, that's not it. Who cares why you're able to handle your business? That doesn't mean you don't have feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just because you're able to stay on, I just need a Kleenex, sorry. Just because you're able to stay on top of your business regardless of what's happening in your life doesn't mean you're not experiencing pain. It just means you don't let it destroy all the work that you've done. I legit just pulled a Kleenex out and ended up just ripping a piece off. So sorry, one moment, please. Oh, excuse me. So, I think we're going to dive into this Queen of Cups a little bit more. So, can we get a clarifier for the Three of Cups? And can we get a clarifier for the Queen of Cups? Whoa. Okay, so we do have the Hermit. And then we have the Five of Pentacles twice on your person's side, but it's reversed here. And then with the Magician, it's also reversed. So, not great news, but not terrible news, okay? I feel like this person is, just moving the cards up so you can see them. They seem to be in a headspace where they are, it's almost like there could be other options that they have. I mean, obviously, they're not really interested in those options. I do feel that they may use those options for a good time or like a fun time, not a long time. You know what I mean? But they're not manifesting anything in particular with those people. And I feel like it actually, there's one person in particular that they're using that they really enjoy using. It's almost like it's easy to manipulate that person. And they kind of get some like weird kick or weird thrill out of being able to do it to somebody that is so easy to manipulate. Which, that's kind of gross. I shouldn't be judgmental, I'm sorry. It just, I don't know how else to, that's gross. Anyway, with this combination here, this person seems to feel like they're going to get what they want, whether they get it from you or somebody else. And like, I don't know what this person's problem is or what makes them think that they're, I'm just going to write a timestamp there. I don't know what makes them think that they're the greatest thing since baked bread and that they just get to wander around and use people to fulfill their own needs without considering the consequences or kind of the broken hearts that they're leaving in their wake, right? And it's almost like if somebody tried to hold up a mirror to what they've been doing and show them what they've been doing to everybody, I feel like this person would be like, oh, no, they were damaged before I got them. No. Like maybe I added to it, but it's not my fault. So, I mean, it doesn't really sound like this person is, this is my own personal opinion, okay? Which I kind of feel like I shouldn't be interjecting it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It just kind of sounds like this person is not in a place where they're able to give anything to anybody, right? It's like they're just in a place where they're going to take. And what is kind of a little bit disgusting is that they seem to get some sort of like sick thrill out of being able to take what they want from people and then being able to get out of having to give anything back, which is kind of disgusting, right? Excuse me. So I don't really know what else to say, if I'm being totally honest. I think we're going to pull a card for some advice. I'm just looking at which deck to use. One sec here. I'm going to make sure it's upright. Can we get some advice? Advice for Virgo? Oh. So we have the Ten of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. Excuse me. With the Tower underneath it, right? And we have the Ten of Swords as what the advice is. So the Ten of Swords usually talks about things getting as bad as they possibly can. But the nice thing, silver lining, I guess you could say, about that type of energy is that it's like you hit the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you get to the bottom, that means it's, I almost want to say like the bad stuff is done happening. It's like at least there aren't going to be any more swords added to the pile, right? Um, I feel like they're okay. I'm going to try to say this as kind of gently as possible because I feel like it might be difficult for some of you to hear. Um, I feel like it may be challenging for you to admit that to whatever extent this person pulled that same manipulation tactic on you. It almost feels like like the energy I'm picking up from you, it feels like you feel that you somehow defeated yourself by allowing it to happen. And I feel like there is this kind of energy that you're, not that you're looking because you want this person, but that you're looking at the situation kind of almost like still with this glimmer of hope that there's this golden nugget in this connection that would kind of help you make peace with what's happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe this person didn't treat you well, but at least you could honestly say that they did love you, right? But it just feels like the more you look at it from this kind of objective point of view, um, it's almost like this person isn't really capable of loving anybody right now. And it actually feels like that, like coming to that realization or seeing that more clearly, excuse me, or at least being able to put like having a certain feeling, but then being able to put some words in it, you know what I mean? Like describe what it is that you're feeling. It actually feels like there's this big whoosh that all of this, like a ton of stuff you just let go of, right? Because it's all of a sudden like whatever you thought you may have done wrong in the connection, right? Because nobody's 100% perfect all the time. So it's almost like if this started out really great and then it went south in a strange way, I feel like to a certain extent you were looking at the situation like, almost like, is there something I did wrong? You know what I mean? It's like, what am I doing that this is happening? And I feel like there's a message here that, um, okay. I feel like there's a message here, number one, that in seeing this person really clearly, I feel like you're able to let go of being hard on yourself and feeling that some of this, or kind of the way that this played out, was your fault. You know what I mean? I feel like if somebody needs to say it, I'll say it for you, or I'll say it to you, I guess. I feel like there's this message that you, like, you weren't perfect, right? But it's like you didn't do anything um, particularly egregious that would, um, maybe not, you never justify poor behavior, but that would kind of like help build a roadmap to how this person got to this place, right? Like I feel like you really come to this understanding that whatever is going on with them, it had nothing to do with you. And I feel like that really helps you disconnect even more from this person. I feel like it helps you let go. I feel like you do still, like, you're not foolish, right? You do still see this person as kind of a little bit dangerous. I would certainly hope not in any kind of, physical harm type way, of course. It's like the manipulation. I feel like this person, for example, let's say you let them back in. I feel like they would talk a whole bunch of crap on your name to your friends, and I feel like they may temporarily turn your friends against you until those friends then see that this person just does that to everybody. You know what I mean? So it just, excuse me, it just feels like whatever this person did, it feels like there's this huge weight lifted off your shoulders when you realize it may have happened to you, it may have come in your direction, whatever they were doing, they did it to you, but it wasn't about you. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't whatever kind of hateful energy they had. It's almost like they just kind of want to spray it out at everybody. There isn't and it's almost like the reason that it may have sprayed at you a little bit longer is because you stayed in place assuming that it would be that, like, maybe they were just having a bad day, or maybe this, I'm not saying that, I feel like for most of you that may not have actually been it, but it's just like because there was more of the relationship between the two of you had more context than, an acquaintance that this person kind of sort of half knows. And I feel like the closer somebody is to this person, it seems it's the harder it is for them to see what's really going on, because they're so good at manipulating people that are close to them. But I feel like people that are on the outside looking in, it's like they can see it very clearly. But it's almost like that's because this person smiles behind people's backs. You know what I mean? It's like they'll manipulate somebody into doing something for them by, putting on a show. But as soon as that person's back is turned, it's like the crocodile tears are wiped away and they get a smirk on their face, which is not something that, you or these other people would have ever seen. But someone on the outside looking in can spot this person a mile away. And from what I'm seeing, anybody that saw this person treat you that way, there's no judgment coming from them. Make no mistake about that. It really feels more like it's not pity. It actually feels like it was almost a little bit disturbing, like people had a hard time watching it. So we'll just circle back around to this and then I'll close out the read. The message here is, I feel like this has gone as far as you're going to let it go. I feel like the rabbit hole could go deeper, but you're getting out now and you're choosing that you're not going to go any further. And by further, the card means further down. Right? It's like whatever this person is doing, you got your back turned to them. And I feel like if they come in, they're going to get some razor sharp words coming from you. I feel for some of you, that may be what happens. For others of you, you actually may feel like it's wiser to not engage with this person. It's almost like, it feels like the kind of person that it doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you do. They find a way to like twist your words, and it's like the smallest thing that you say to this person, it's like they grab onto it, and then they kind of like, they want to twist it and turn it and bring up this and bring up that. And like, honestly, even tapping into that type of energy for me is freaking exhausting. So I don't know how there is as much left of you as there is if you've been with this person. And for just from my perspective personally, if somebody was doing that to me all the time, I wouldn't know up from down, if I'm being honest. But I feel like this person thought they could get something better, and they went trampling on, on their merry way. And it may have, like, for some of you, it may have hurt at the time. For others of you, maybe not. But whatever they did, it's almost like they did you a favor. This is the type of overall energy. Not great situation between the two of you. They walk away, and then when they want to come back, you have to put up these barriers. And I feel like you actually are doing that pretty successfully. And I feel like the more they want to come, the more you push, like, no, you're not. This is not happening. And it's almost like if you had any doubts about the fact that this needs to be done, how this person comes back and won't frickin' leave you alone, it's like if you needed any confirmation that what you're doing is the right decision, they're about to give it to you. So that's what I have for you today, Virgo. I'm sorry that this is kind of what you're facing right now. I feel like you're in a place where you've chosen to kind of take control of what's going on, and I feel like you're actually already in that space. I feel like the message here is, it's like you're going to get more information that will confirm that what you're doing is the right choice. It feels like it's one of those things where it's like at the end of the day, this is something that you may have to shake off, because there's nothing about this situation that you need to own. Or there's nothing about all of this sort of stuff that, you know what I mean? It's almost like if you spend too much time trying to really understand what this person is doing, you may get lost in it, because I feel like you can't explain away somebody that is irrational and illogical, right? You can't, um, it's almost like you can't find a roadmap to someone's mind that doesn't flow naturally, if that makes sense. So I'll actually leave it there, Virgo. I love you very much. I hope you have a good month, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.